I'm a regular gym goer.
Dude, he has an 8-pack.
And
we should get that. I'm gonna take a picture of that and just use it as a thumbnail.
No,
for this
no,
video.
no,
Yeah,
no.
it's gonna be the background. Yeah, it's gonna be good. So, what happened was, I was taking a train down here, right? And I always think to myself that I'm gonna do, like, take the early train right after school and just use the day and all that. But what usually happens is I sit down at my computer and then like suddenly it's at like 9 or something. So I usually take the train at night, like second to last or maybe the last train. So I had been up since 5 a.m. on the night before taking the train. So I took the train and then I needed to like take out some cash. So then you need to buy something. So I was like, okay, I'm going out with my mates now. Gonna need some energy. Buy a Red Bull, right? Buy half a liter of Red Bull.
Yeah.
That wasn't a very good idea because when I got home later on that night, I couldn't fucking sleep for one bit. I actually had another energy drink later on that night. So what ended up happening was I was up, I think it was like 37 or 38 hours.
Jesus.
Yeah, yesterday. So I fell asleep around like, I think it was like 1 or 2 today. Today's Saturday. Get here Friday. Don't sleep 37 hours. Sleep for like, I don't know, 5 hours maybe, if that. And now I'm here.
That's like exactly the opposite of what I've been doing lately.
Yeah.
I've been taking at least 2 naps a day. But that's mainly because I've kind of I've been hoping to go to sleep on a regular like time schedule. So I kind of aim to go to bed at midnight and maybe get up at like 7 or something, which is pretty reasonable, 7 hours. And I end up staying up to like 3 every night anyway. And but I still want to get up relatively early. So, for example, today I wanted to go to the gym when it opened, which was 10. Didn't make that though. But I still got up at about 8 o'clock, so I had just slept 5 hours. So after the gym, I immediately took a nap after eating something, and then I took another nap before I went out shopping, groceries with my mom. So that's been 2 naps, and it's just like, you just lie down and for 15 minutes or half an hour, and
I've never been able to do that.
It's so good.
I can't take naps for shit.
If you manage to not fall asleep, or like, sleep for longer than that, and then just get up again, you're really refreshed, kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been enjoying naps lately.
Yeah, I never like take naps. I always think that I'm like a really heavy sleeper, like people that I've like shared a bed with, you know how that goes. They've said like they can like punch me in the face and I wouldn't wake up, like some really weird shit could happen and I would just like keep on sleeping. Like this one time a girl actually like fell over or like tripped and there was like this desk or something, right, and she like tripped over that and made like a huge fucking noise.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, what's that? Oh, calm down, right? And then just went back to sleep, right?
Yeah.
And I'm always been that. It's just like takes a while for me to fall asleep, but when I'm fucking asleep, I'm fucking gone, man. And I can't like take naps. It was like this previous week, the first week of school, right?
Yeah.
I had this like circadian rhythm as like sleeping patterns. For those who don't know. And yeah, I was basically waking up at maybe 5 or 6, like naturally, but that ended up me like being really tired at like starting at 6 p.m. and then just like being, when you sit there and just like, I just want to go to sleep, man.
Yeah.
But you can't because it's like really early. So that what ended up happening was I was always telling myself I was just have a quick lie down and like just shy for like, as you said, like 15-30 minutes, but it doesn't happen. I just fall into like a deep sleep state with like REM and all that.
Yeah.
It happens fucking every time, and then I wake up like at the middle of the night and just, what the fuck happened? I was just supposed to sleep for 15 minutes,
Yeah. The first thing you said about not being able to wake up, or the story you told, remind me of something. But now what you just said also reminds me of something. So I have to tell 2 stories. So one time my dad likes to take naps all the time. He has to take a nap after every meal, not breakfast obviously, but
I'm just gonna... that's good.
He takes a lot of naps when he's like stressed out or just tired, and he's been doing this for a long time. So when I was younger, I once asked him something while he was like asleep, and he was still in kind of a sleeping state, sort of. Yeah. But he was conscious enough to hear me. I asked him when he's getting up or something, and he answered, "I think hey," and I was like, "What?" And then okay, I just leave it, and then I went away. And he got up. He got up. The thing is horse, right? So he got up half an hour later, and I asked him, "What the fuck was that about?" And he said, "Oh, I thought you asked what the horses eat in the West or something." Because of course I asked him in German, and I think it was he misheard, obviously, because he was half asleep. But it was like in his kind of sleepy state, he thought that me asking him what the horses in the West eat is like a very reasonable thing to do.
What's that in the German though? It's like,
I don't know.
Warum das Hesten gespießt?
I don't remember what exactly I was asking, but I remember him saying, "Oh yeah, I thought you asked what the horses eat in the West."
Warum das Horsen gespießt?
Yeah.
What's horse in German?
Pferd.
Alright.
Yeah. Then there was another story. What were you talking about?
She fell over.
No. You ended up saying something about the last part, not in that story, but you ended your...
Dude, I don't have to go with like every... And
it was something funny, I think.
Double entendre? No, not double entendre. It was like, I fell asleep, circadian rhythm... No? This is like that.
Yeah, there's something there, but I'll come back to it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So I haven't seen you in like ages. We haven't met for like, I think we met like face to face. If you don't know, me and Ramsey just usually like hang out. We're like internet friends,
Yeah.
Like just play games together. We live in different cities.
I mean, yeah, of course you live in different cities, but I think exactly a year ago.
Yeah.
Because you and Ole.
Yeah.
We're here right after New Year's, and you asked me to come outside.
Yeah. That place, fucking outside. But yeah, so I don't know, it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, me and Ramsey just usually hang out, play games, talk online. So that's like what started this whole podcasting, was just like we had these dumb conversations and we just decided to record them. But we haven't really had that recently. Like I haven't I just got a new computer. We get like in Norway you get like this massive you get like what's it called, scholarship, no student loans. So this chair is fucking noisy. you get like student loans, right? So in the beginning of each semester, you get like a quadruple student loan or scholarship or whatever. So what I did was buy a new computer because my previous computer was like...
It's a grant.
Yeah, Grant. Hugh Grant. So Hugh Grant gave me a new computer, and because my previous one was like falling apart, the sound didn't work. I was like gonna do some cleanup work on it, and just like ended up deleting some really important files for the computer to work properly. So it's
System 32.
yeah, just delete that shit. And so yeah, I haven't really been like present online as much, so we haven't really talked that much. So I think we should have like stuff to talk about now, I guess. That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
So do you have anything funny that happened to you recently or whatever? Have you gone outside
funny outside. Well, I've been going outside a lot because my bus pass expired.
Right.
So I've literally been going outside.
Oh, you've been
walking.
Yeah.
Which is a fucking nightmare right now because
yeah, it's quite bad.
We don't
January in Norway is like, it's not like snow and all.
So yeah, the snow's been melting. It's still cold as ass, and so everything is just ice now.
I think that's like, I don't think it was like that for like 10 years ago. Remember that? It was just like that. It was snow. It wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, I remember
like
when I was little.
Global warming has
when I was younger,
really large
Christmas
impact.
was always, well, almost always a white Christmas with like half a meter of snow at least.
But it usually is like that now as well, though, because of the solstice thing. But then it goes to shit in like January, I think.
Yeah. And then we get like a lot of snow in February, I think.
Yeah.
And then it starts melting.
Yeah. So usually before Easter holidays, which is usually like April 16th or something around there, it was like the national holiday for like going to like ski resorts and going out skiing. But nowadays, I think because of global warming and shit, it's just at that point it's spring. Spring has come, you know.
Yeah.
So you can't really do that anymore. I think, I don't know. It might be different this year, but I really doubt it. So yeah, stop with your fucking carbon dioxide pollutioning. Stop that.
Yeah, it's. I think I talk about this at least to you. I don't know if I've said it on the podcast, but last year, Christmas in Germany was like when we kind of broke off camp and were going to the next stop of the holiday. It was like spring because the sun was shining. There was no snow, but it was the middle of December. It was kind of depressing, and the following Easter, so Easter last year, we were also in Germany, and we had at least 20 centimeters of snow, and we built a snowman, and it was like Christmas, basically. And that, so it was kind of reversed.
Top hat, carrot, all that.
Yeah.
I never done that. I think I've made like one snowman. It's just like a shit. Well, it was really big snowman, I guess. But it was just like a carrot. We didn't have a top hat. You know? It was really sad. But it turned out alright. Like the stones, buttons. I forgot to mention. Fuck what? I forgot what I forgot to mention. Fucking hell. It was when ordering the new computer, right? I was like really desperate for a new computer, so I was like, I wanted to get it now, like order it ASAP. So I wanted just first to order it with just a normal like bill to come with it.
Yeah.
So I can just pay that, but it didn't work when I went to like put that in as a payment option. So I had to buy it with a 3-month
payment plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not payment plan. Just like
Delay.
yeah, delay, 3 months delay. So I paid the first. The only thing that came into like my bank or whatever was they wanted the money for the delay. So that was like 200 kroner, right? So for the actual delay.
Depositum.
Yeah, deposit. Yeah. So when I got my Hugh Grant, they said to me, like I was just waiting for the bill to come to actually pay for the computer because I was like scared to pay for anything, like to buy anything for myself or whatever, because I was afraid that I would, like cash and all that.
Yeah.
Because I knew I had like 13,000 kroner to pay, like due. So what ended up happening was I called Komprat.no. This program
Which is
where
basically
you
like
buy
Newegg.
Yeah, it's
in
just
Norway.
where you buy your computer shit.
Yeah.
So well, I talked to this guy, right, and I was like, yeah, I want to pay for this, can you fix that? And he was like, yeah, sure man, I'll fix that for you. And whilst I was talking to the guy, I hear in the background of his, like on his end, someone saying, oh, I'm sorry Christian, I can't let you go home today. And I was like, oh man, it sucks to be Christian, you know. and that guy started just like telling me about how his wife and daughter was sick, and I was like, and it took me like 2 minutes to realize that he was Christian.
Oh.
So yeah, so it was, but it was alright. We had like a lovely chat, and he told me my computer was nice with good specs and all that, competing with like Alienware tech, you know. so
Well,
it's good.
I'm not gonna go into that one.
Okay.
I mean, Alienware is it's not
that whole thing.
good. I mean, pre-built
It's good.
pre-built
it's
rigs are
it's
way too expensive, and they are often not optimized for actual gaming.
Yeah.
You are much better off building your own shit.
Not for a laptop
and,
though.
and putting not for a laptop.
Can't build your own laptop.
Yeah, so just go with a standard laptop.
So yeah, I bought a laptop for exactly this purpose, to being able to, because I travel a lot. Or not like travel, but I go to and
Places.
from places, yeah. And it's really good for school because well, yeah, okay, so let's just start talking about schools, I guess, because that I have some shit to say about that. But yeah, so school, I'm planning to use it all over school because if you don't know, I study film production, or it's called multimedia technology, but it's basically just film production. And it's good to have a computer for that, obviously, for obvious reasons. But I've just been playing Hearthstone in class. That's all I've been doing. Which is fine because what class basically is for me this semester is that we have these two teachers that are American, and then they run the whole like the class, like the multimedia technology.
Yeah.
Excuse me. They do the whole thing, but actually one of the teachers has a mate, and he's from England, right?
Yeah.
And he has convinced him to come over to Norway, just to teach us for 6 months.
Okay.
And that's all he does in Norway. And he has like produced shit. His name is Richard Hersey, and he has been like a producer and a director and a cutter, like an editor for BBC for like the past 20-30 years or something. I think it's like 60 or something. So yeah, all he does is ranting. He just does rants. He just starts to talk about a story or whatever, and then just goes off of that and off of that and off of that again.
Yeah.
And talking about like all actors he's met and worked with, all directors he's worked with, like different shows he's produced and all that. And it's really good because he seems like really knowledgeable and all that. So basically what he does is I think he has like this rough idea of what a lecture is going to be like. We have him from 8:30 to 4. That's like every day for me now, except Wednesdays when we have the day off. So basically, he has like this idea of the lecture, and then he just talks around share, and he shows us like videos, and to just illustrate his points. You know,
Yeah.
if he talks about one shots. That's actually the reason I'm watching True Detective now, is because he showed us a fucking incredible scene
Yeah.
from True Detective.
Well, you told me about him showing you that, and I said you have to watch
Yeah.
the show.
Well, it kind of like spoiled it a bit, because I think that's the best scene I've seen from that show, and everything was just like, I was just thinking the whole time watching it, I was thinking, when's the scene gonna come up? Because it was so insanely good and well done.
Yeah, in terms of production, that is probably the best scene, but in terms of story, it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an intense scene, but you definitely. I mean, the finale is
Yeah.
quite the thing.
Yeah, I'm 1.5. Is it just like a massive plot twist? Is that it?
Not exactly.
Don't spoil it, but for people who haven't seen True Detective,
It's not the cliche plot twist where
he was dead the whole
one
time.
of the guys turns out to be the bad guy or something like that. You know.
Okay, that's best. Yeah. So okay.
Yeah.
I'm
By the way,
convinced-
I'm
convinced that Matthew McConaughey is smoking in every scene he's in the whole show. He's taking a drag every take. Imagine fucking doing that. For each take you have a cigarette and you have to smoke it.
I mean,
That guy has lung cancer now, I'm convinced.
I mean, he might just keep it in his mouth and not in
No, he doesn't do that.
Yeah, but anyway, I just remembered what I was gonna say about sleeping stories.
Back to that. Okay.
Because you said you just want to take a nap and then you fall asleep and wake up in the middle of the night. Yeah, that's the thing.
I can't sleep less than.
Do you remember
5
that
hours.
one time when I think this was after an exam or something? I had.
Oh yeah.
I had stayed up the whole
This
night.
is a good story.
I had stayed up the whole night, and then I came home, and I was really hungry, so I put
I
some.
thought you stayed up the whole night so you could do something in WoW.
Yeah. Fuck that. That's right. The thing is, I went to class. The next day, so I mean, we don't have to go into the details now, but it was really important that I should do this thing.
World of Warcraft.
Yeah, World of Warcraft.
He's a nerd.
And it ended up with the Tetris effect, where I don't know if you're familiar with the Tetris effect. It's when you're so focused on the task that you kind of are consumed by it, and it kind of spreads to other parts of your life. So it's the primary example is the Tetris game, where you're so focused on the game, where you play it so much that you start to think in that kind of pattern. You start hearing the music. When you go outside, the only thing you can see on your inner eye is kind of the Tetris pieces falling together. That's the thing that happened to me, because for 10 straight hours, I just did the same thing over and over and over again, which was basically Tetris.
You were doing like a dungeon simulator.
It's not that important, but basically I was in a fragile mental state at that point, and I went to class, and that was not good.
And then you went to class.
And I went to class because I didn't finish it. I just had breakfast, and I said fuck it. I have class in an hour, so I'm going.
And how much time had you spent at that point? And
I'd been awake already for more than 24 hours, and I'd been doing that thing for at least 10 hours.
Jesus.
With small breaks and
without
such.
like succession, because
I mean, I was close a couple of times, but so I went to class, and I had this Tetris effect on the bus and in class. Like, I was thinking in these weird patterns, and I was.
That's kind of cool.
It was kind of cool, but it was also kind of bad because but the thing was, I got home after class. Class was a complete waste because I didn't remember a thing.
Where'd you go then? It's not like you have mandatory.
Yeah. But I thought I should be there. Maybe something important is being said. But I ended up being quite hungry, and I put some fries in.
Wasn't it pizza?
No, it wasn't
No?
pizza. It was just some fries or chips, if you want, in the oven at 225 degrees Celsius.
I think people already know what
I
it's doing.
Now I've been awake for maybe 30 hours.
Yeah.
I thought if the fries take at least 20 minutes, and I just thought, okay, I'm gonna take a quick nap because I can't play now anyway, so might as well take a nap. 20 minutes, right? I set the timer on my tablet, and I know the alarm is fucking loud, right? But the alarm doesn't go off, or it doesn't make a sound. I end up waking up 3 hours later or something.
To the smell of.
And no, I didn't smell it because I was in my room and the kitchen and the doors of the kitchen was locked.
Yeah.
I just thought, oh fuck, I slept a lot longer than I intended to, and then I was like, oh fuck, I think I had something in the oven.
Yeah.
And I got up, and I went to the kitchen, and it was already smoking. I mean, the oven was closed, but it was smoking through the cracks.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck. I gotta open the window. I gotta turn the vent over the kitchen stove on, and I just casually checked if my roommate was home. He was not, fortunately. So it has been in there about 2.5 hours or something.
On like 300.
Yeah. They were absolutely burnt to crisp, black, unedible. Lots of smoke. I was afraid the alarm would go off, in which case I would have to ring our security people and report it as a false alarm, which I didn't want to do. But I was kind of so disappointed because I was really hungry at that point.
Man, this.
And I ended up putting more fries in the oven, but I stayed up and I started playing WoW again.
Yeah.
And
then you did the whole thing over.
Yeah. After I think another 3 hours or something, and then I had it.
Yeah.
So it was alright at that point.
Congrats.
But the thing is, kind of the same thing happened just this week,
Okay.
where I put some bread rolls in the oven for breakfast, and I had been sick the previous day, and I wasn't feeling so well, and I was just on the computer, and I was feeling really hungry, but because I had been sick the previous day, I was kind of like, oh, maybe I shouldn't eat that much, but oh, I'm really hungry, and then I kind of, I should go put some bread rolls in the oven. And then I went into the kitchen and I wait, I already put bread rolls in the oven. And because I had made a phone call, I could check when I did that. And it was 2.5 hours previously. And they were also black as hell.
Fuck it out.
And I ended up throwing those away and putting new bread rolls in. And this time I set the timer because I had totally forgotten about the bread rolls.
I just realized we haven't said our names yet.
So I'm Ramsey.
And I'm Jones.
Or Ramsey or whatever.
What up? No, but yeah. So, 31 minutes in, I'm Jones, that's Ramsey. Welcome to the...
I burn my food quite a lot.
This is the validation station. With us is Hugh Grant, he's over there, not saying much. How you doing, mate? Okay, so... I love it. I kind of like it when that happens, that Tetris effect you were talking about. I haven't heard that expression before, but it kind of makes sense because I recognize the symptoms, I guess, because sometimes when I've been playing games a lot, I see shit for example, I was playing Assassin's Creed a lot before I don't play that much of it anymore. But I remember when like playing Assassin's Creed 2 for the first time. I was going to school with you in the big city, in the middle of the city, and I was
downtown.
just like remembering when there was like crowds and shit, like going to in the recesses and shit in lunch. I remember just like staying in the crowd and just like, yeah, I'm hidden now.
Yeah. I mean, it's
And being like
it's
that.
really bad because what happened to me was so I mean, it's a computer game, so you have your own character and you have other characters you have to kill, and I was like in this kind of challenge I was doing the same task which varies from it has kind of a time of half an hour if you complete the whole thing. So I was, and if you fail, you have to start over again, and
It's just like a horde mode thing.
yeah, kind of. You have to do wave after wave after wave, and they are repeating waves on a variance of 10, and after 10 waves, it.
I can't believe that you bothered doing that.
But
Can you
but
imagine
anyway,
yourself
so I kept going through the same waves over and over again, probably a couple hundred times, and in real life, when I was on the bus, I was seeing people as targets.
Oh my
And
God.
I was like, okay, next target there. No, I have to open with 2, 1, 1, 4, next target. 2, 1, 1, 4. Press F, next target. Press Alt 2.
Yeah.
And then I was doing my rotation for my
Dude,
abilities and things.
I
And
was reading something like really interesting. There was like this article on like school shootings. Just this podcast just took it seriously.
yeah.
No, but you know the Columbine massacre,
Massacre.
yeah, with Dylan Harris, Klebold and Harris, Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris.
Yep.
I was like, there was a guy who was like going into the mindset of those people and just like, how could two people actually commit such heinous crimes?
Yep.
And he was comparing it. He was comparing their like mindset and like outlook from their perspective as like a video game.
Yeah.
That's how they could do it, because as you were saying, they were like just seeing people as targets and as scores and shit. And,
Yeah.
and I kind of like I kind of like understand why people like jump to like blame like Doom and Wolfenstein and all that shit they were playing as like a cause, but it isn't like a cause. They were like fucked up people who were able to do this shit without video games, but it's like that's how they viewed the world, you know. And I think it was like really interesting.
I mean, it makes sense, kind of. I mean, I of course think video games have nothing to do with any kind of violence. It just happens that violent people like violent video games, and not that violent video games cause any kind of violence.
But yeah, a lot.
But
of like
I can agree with the whole the game thing, because I think people who are, if this is premeditated, which is obviously was. I mean, they were planning this thing. You have to obviously psych yourself up a bit for this kind of thing, and you have to detach yourself from the thought that this is me, a human being. I'm a living organism. I have my own thoughts and my own feelings, and I'm going to end the life of another such being. And yeah, kind of you have to, I mean, depersonalize your victims.
Yeah.
And I think the whole thing where you might compare it to a game, you might find that in other people who I mean, just a comparison where of taking people's lives. If you're a soldier in a war zone, you might find it much more comforting to put all your actions into a kind of a schema of the goal in the schema. Schema. It's a framework.
Okay.
I mean,
sure.
Schema.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
And where your goal is kind of and the goal of the game is your survival, and there are obstacles obviously in other people, but you don't have to think about like them as people. You don't have to think about that they have their own lives and their own thoughts and their own feelings. They don't have families or any such things. You just like you have a goal and they're in the way, and right there and then they are just a part of the game, which you have to overcome and kind of I guess that's one way of dealing with the situation there and then, and kind of
I think that's how like people
being combat ready, kind of.
I think that's how people are just when they're being like horrible. You were saying they dehumanize,
Depersonalize.
Depersonalize people.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of way of doing that. I remember like watching an interview or something with Stephen Fry, and he was talking about how like in Nazi Germany, how like they can actually, how like the whole of Germany could like accept the genocide of Jewish people and all that, and it was because of the language that they use. They never like talked about Jewish people as people. They always compared them to rats or compared them to dogs, and they depersonalized them using language.
Yeah, I have the highly fictionalized kind of autobiography of it's called "Death Is My Trade," of the I think his name was he was the commander of Auschwitz, and he came up with the Cyclone B method of killing, mass killing.
Cyclone B.
Cyclone B, where it's the rodent poison gas thingy.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't know if a lot of people know this, but before they used poisonous gas or poisonous chemicals, they were using the gas from exhaust pipes of trucks, and they used to run a pipe from the exhaust pipe of the truck into the gas chamber, and it was really fucking expensive because you had to have the truck running all day. And I mean, this is a very practical way of talking about mass killings, but
no, I think it's alright.
basically it was inefficient.
We don't
because
condone it at all.
Yeah, but it happened, and you
Fuck
have to,
you if you're doing that right now. I mean,
yeah,
shouldn't be doing that. Stop it.
And the thing was, they had to. It was a very inefficient way because they couldn't kill as many as they brought in, and it was highly expensive because they used gas, oil, and fuel.
They were running the engines.
Yeah, and he was actually tasked with in the Death Is My Trade. I can highly recommend that book, because it talks about his time before he was a SS commander and things, but it's highly fictionalized, and I just mention it because in that book, when he is orchestrating all these mass killings, he is never really considering the Jews or the Jewish people as actual people, and they're never described that way, if I remember correctly. I mean, and he had that mindset that this, I mean, for him, he was tasked with eliminating as many unwanted people as possible, and he was extremely rational about his task. That's why he was really efficient, and he was tasked by Himmler to find an efficient way of actually disposing. If he didn't do that, they were going to close some of the concentration camps actually, because they were so expensive. They couldn't keep running them if they didn't somehow find a method of quitting themselves with all those Jews. And he was in the book actually. He was having like a really almost a mental breakdown because he couldn't live up to this challenge and kind of find a way of like mastering his job, because up to that point he was like the poster boy for SS commanders because he was really young when he became a commander. And but then he found out that they're using this chemical to kill all the rats in the concentration camp, and I don't remember how exactly he found out that this could be used on humans, but he basically we should try this, and then it worked, and it was really inexpensive because a canister of Cyclone B was like, I don't know. I mean, you could buy it at the corner store or something. And they ended up using that in all the other concentration camps too. So
I think it's like when you. I think it's just like you basically become a piece of the cog, a cog in the machine.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a task, you need to do it, right?
Yeah.
And when
when
you are a cog in a machine that is the Third Reich, you need to. It's just like that's where you are. That's the situation you are in. You know.
Yeah.
You have to just complete that. I mean, I'm not saying that he was just a small cog. I mean, obviously he had a massive impact on a lot of lives were lost and all that because of him. But when you are I'm just saying that when you are in command of that many people and you need results, you don't, as you said, he was thinking about it really rationally and all that.
Yeah, he never thought about.
Like he didn't have.
We're killing a lot of people here. We're killing a lot of basically innocent people. Yeah. They're not doing anything.
Because to him, it's just numbers, right?
Yeah.
It's just numbers. It's just a score.
But a lot
just
of people
beat the score. Be more efficient. You know.
A lot of people pleaded the whole just following orders thing, and the thing is, as I remember, he wasn't doing that. He said.
No.
He was fully conscious of what
said,
exactly he was doing.
He could have been responsible for shutting down lots of concentration camps. So that guy was obviously convinced that this was the right thing to do. Even
he was very devoted to Hitler and his cause because if I remember correctly, he was in the biography. It starts off in the book Death Is My Trade. It starts off with him being kind of down on his luck after the First World War, and he was going to commit suicide when one of his friends in quotation marks from his work, who was a brown shirt at the time, and that was before the
weren't everyone brown shirts?
No, this was before the Nazi Party kind of rose to fame or I don't know, fortune.
Have you seen Trainspotting?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was... okay, yeah, go ahead.
I'm just going to finish. He was going to kill himself, and then this brown shirt guy stopped him and said, you have to read about this Hitler guy.
Oh, yeah.
And he kind of got him into the party, and after that he devoted his life to the party and the cause, and he was... he said he never I think he later explained, he never thought that Jewish people were... subhumans, and he didn't feel any hatred towards them, but he was just he was kind of doing, I mean, he was following the cause, and he was I wouldn't say doing what he was told, but he was fulfilling Hitler's wishes kind of in a sort of way. But he was conscious of killing people, but he didn't really care, because the party said it was the right thing to do, so it was the right thing to do. And he didn't plead the whole I'm innocent. He was fully aware of what he was doing, and he kind of accepted that these were actual war crimes and things.
Yeah, he was executed, I presume.
Yeah, he was executed, he was I think because he was hiding out on a farm for a while, and then some Americans came and picked him up because they heard that he was there. But the farmer who was hiding him told him about how Himmler almost got away. He was in disguise or something, and he was, I don't know where they found him. He was on a train station or something, and he almost got away, and then he bit on a cyanide pill. And he was really disappointed that Himmler took his own life and didn't face the music, kind of.
Imagine actually dying from a cyanide.
Yeah, it sounds. I don't remember in the Bond movie, was it Skyfall? No, I think it was Skyfall. The guy had bit on a cyanide pill, right?
Yeah.
That was really.
Yeah, it was.
But it was a sign that Pelle
Javier Bardem's character.
it had gone bad, but it sounded awful.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, but he was really disappointed in Himmler that he didn't, face the music and take responsibility for his actions.
Yeah, you were talking about going to a farm, which reminded me that my grandfather, he was caught in Norway actually handing out flyers on the train for like the resistance, you know.
Yeah.
And he was punished by being sent to a farm, like a
work farm.
It was like a work farm, but it was actually in northern Norway.
Yeah.
And I guess the farm dude must have been like a Nazi sympathizer, whatever. So he was like horribly mistreated there. He was like there for the remaining time of the war, and he finally like escaped. I actually think he escaped before the war was over, like a couple of months before that, and then fled.
I mean, the war was over in Norway a lot earlier than the actual war.
It was like something like that. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But the thing was, after a while, when the war was over and shit, he just wanted revenge, right?
Yeah.
That was like I didn't know the guy. He died when I was 4, but I've heard like these stories, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So he just wanted revenge. He just lived and breathed revenge. That was all he was like thinking about and shit. And he had met my grandmother at that point, and he was just like, okay, I'll marry her or whatever. I'm just gonna go kill this guy up north. And so he went, but he found out that that guy had actually been killed by someone else, I guess.
Yeah. They were very merciless with Nazi sympathizers in Norway after the war.
Yeah.
Most people were shot without trial, I think.
Yeah, and like
which
there
is
was, like,
kind
this public
of
shaming of girls who
Yeah,
had
yeah, yeah.
slept with Nazi.
Yeah, they were lynched
soldiers and
mostly.
shit.
Yeah.
They were lynched, like hung.
Lynched. No, not that kind of lynched. I mean, head shaven and paraded in the
Yeah.
streets and kind of thing.
Naked and all that. Bound. Yeah, it's kind of bad times all around.
Yeah, it's kind of, it goes against the whole, we're better than you thing.
Yeah, but people were fucking pissed off though.
Yeah.
They were fucking pissed. Okay, so I'm gonna stop the recording here because I'm afraid that we'll get caught or something if we go. And then we'll get back to it and hopefully get off the Nazi World War II thing.
Okay.
Okay, so I can tell the fridge story, I guess.
Yeah.
So I live in a student body. Is that right? I live in a flat with 4 other rooms connected to a kitchen. That's just basically a kitchen, and that's it.
It's not student housing though.
No, it's privately owned, and that reflects in the price as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enough about that. So I think he's Vietnamese. But he's actually just from southern Norway as well. So that's the thing. So he just I'm not like gonna diss like Vietnamese people or anything, but if you're Vietnamese, your food is pretty shitty.
You're not racist, you
No.
just hate black people.
No, nothing like that. Just okay. So maybe it's just this guy though. So he usually just cooks up these things, like for instance, he usually have like I don't know, some raw meat and celery and shit, and he probably just eats a couple of pieces of whatever he makes, and then leaves the rest on a plate, and then just stick it in the fridge so that everything he can like stank up the whole fridge for me as well. I'm like, when I do things with my fridge, I usually just have a plastic bag around everything so that nothing touches anything or everything's separated.
Yeah, like you should.
Yeah. And he doesn't do that shit. So what happened one day was I opened the fridge. Sorry if that sounds a bit fucked up. I opened the fridge to find that he has, well, a few days before that I notices that he has bought this massive fucking steak thing. You call it a steak in Norway, but steak is something else in England. It's like a
piece of meat, basically.
Yeah, it's just a piece of meat, pig meat, yes. So he obviously cuts off bits and pieces of this meat to cook and shit, and when I open the fridge, I see that he has actually used a plastic bag this time, but the opening of the plastic bag is outside of the edge.
Yeah.
So if you got the I'm gesturing. If you got the edge of the fucking drawer, what? Okay, so you open a fridge. There's a plastic bag hanging down outside.
Yeah, I mean the shelves in the
compound.
fridge
Yeah,
are
shelves.
kind of inset because you have the shelves in the door.
The opening of the plastic bag is hanging outside the shelf, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of blood in this piece of meat. So what happened was there's been dripping all this blood down on the walls and on my fucking sodas and on my fucking leverpostej and fucking everything. There's blood everywhere, and I'm just like, what the hell is this? How can this be a thing? And I was just thinking, okay, maybe he's out of town or something. How has he not noticed this and not cleaned it up? So I just like basically quarantine my my fridge. I don't use it for like 3 days, and then I get really hungry and I'm like, what the fuck? I need to eat, man. So I text the guy and says, hey dude, I noticed there's some blood in the fridge. Could you like clean out, please? Like, please. So the next day I go out to the fridge and notices that it's actually being cleaned up.
Okay, nice.
So that's nice. And then he moved out, which is why I'm feeling free too. Actually, I really hope he's moved out because I haven't seen he's just like.
Oh, you're not sure?
Well, I haven't seen him in a really long time.
Okay.
So he just one day the like top 2 shelves were his, and they were cleaned out. There was nothing left, right? So I started to wonder then. It's like, has this guy moved out? What's going on? So I asked my other flatmates, and they're like, yeah, I think he's moved out. I'm not really sure. And that's it. I don't see him again. And hopefully he still gets mail though. So it's like I think it's up to like 7 letters now down in the lobby, which are his. And it seems really important, like shit from hospitals. Like they're like stamped with like priority mail and shit. And I'm just like, is this guy alright? What the fuck? And I'm just hoping that he has actually moved out and he's not like hung himself in his room and he's just like waiting for someone to find him or whatever. That's a bit grim.
Yeah, he's waiting.
Yeah.
Funny.
So yeah, that's the fridge story.
Just a quick question.
But now I have the whole fridge for myself.
Yeah.
Actually, there was this one weird incident where I opened the door and found 2 bottles of beers in the top shelf.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what the fuck is this? Is he back? What's going on? And the other flatmate came out and I was like, are these yours? And she's like, yeah, mine. I just send it. And I'm
taking this opportunity.
Yeah, and I'm just like, like I'm thinking, no fucking way am I sharing this refrigerator with anyone. But no, it's alright. She drank her beers and didn't try and come to my territory again.
Where did
Stay out of my territory.
I got a question. Where did you find that? Did you bring the scissors?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you took like my flatmate's scissors
No,
or something.
bro. We're doing arts and crafts.
Oh jeez, I don't know if I'm that the scissors things kind of remind me of something. I don't know if I should tell this. It's about okay, but
wait,
it was
racist.
no, but it was told to me in confidence, kind of.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I don't need to mention names, but I mean we both play video games in World of Warcraft.
Correct.
And you play with other people in World of Warcraft, and I'm in this guild.
Correct.
And there's lots of other people, and this one guy who's British, I've gotten along with before.
Because he's British.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And he's pretty funny. I mean, but he's been absent for a while,
Oh, no.
and then he came on, and I kind of talked with him and wanted to know when he's gonna come back and be more active and shit. And instead of we were talking in the guild chat where everyone can see basically, and instead he private messages me, and says like, oh, I'd rather not tell us in guild chat, but basically I'm gonna be back when my depression gets better.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that sounds pretty bad. I mean, get better, man. I mean, take your time, fucking. I probably said mate.
Man.
But just like, yeah, sympathies. Fucking, yeah, depression sucks. And then he just kept like telling me things.
Oh yeah. That happens sometimes.
And like things like, oh yeah, I started smoking, started drinking very heavily, got into some other stuff. Basically got into some habits that would leave marks on my body. That's the words he used.
What?
I was like, yeah, so he was doing self-injury. Good job, fucking.
Oh yeah, is that I was thinking. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. More sense.
Yeah, but
Did he say?
And
he
then-
was
and
doing
then-
self-harm?
no, but he said, I
That was
mean,
implied.
in some bad habits that would leave marks on his bodies,
Yeah.
which I would assume are self-harming.
Yeah.
And he and then he told me that I mean I'm 17 now, so it's, and I was like, what? Because I've been on Went with this guy on Ventrilo, and he sounds like he's my age or older. Like,
And you are.
I'm 21, and I was thinking like this guy is like 24 or something, because we have talked about uni and shit before. And
I don't think we're actually told our ages before. I'm 21 as well, actually.
Yeah.
By the way.
Your birthday's about 20 days after 20 days after mine. 21 days exactly.
Cool.
So I'm the older one.
Yeah.
This guy, and he's like, what, he's 17? What the fuck? But he sounds like he's 24, and I'm like, what? I mean, depression in a 24-year-old, I would have understood, but like, he's telling me all this kind of angsty teenager shit, so I don't know if I'm gonna take him seriously now.
Just
But
like fuck off, mate.
I mean, yeah, so like, okay.
Go listen to Linkin Park.
Because self-harming as a 24-year-old is like, yeah, you obviously got problems, but self-harming as a 17-year-old, I'm kind of like,
I think
are you
that's
just-
more usual. Though.
yeah, are you just acting out? Is that like, are you? I mean, I've never seen the guy, so I don't know if he's like into kind of some emo shit or something like that.
Emu shit, like the bird.
Emo, like, is he dressed all in black? Is he wearing mascara?
Like brown feathers.
No, fuck off.
Emu shit.
Fuck off. You're pushing me over the fucking line.
I'm a big fan of emus.
And yeah, so because of the scissors, I kind of I remember this self-harming thing.
With scissors. With
Yeah.
these scissors.
Yeah, just like, you know,
These scissors are sharp.
because
You can't harm
because
anyone.
you're doing arts and crafts and cutting up shit.
You can't hurt anyone with these. Look at this.
You can if you
Shite
you want.
scissors. So okay, but like, have you done like anything in the last months? Because I don't feel we've talked at all.
I mean,
about 2 months.
Okay, we could go back to school. I mean, you've told something about your shit. I've just had so this is recorded on a Saturday. Yeah.
Saturday.
So yesterday I had my first kind of. Yesterday I started the semester again.
Yeah.
I was last Sunday. I was kind of checking. Do I have school tomorrow, like on Monday? And I was like, no, I don't. Yes, no. I start the next 3 courses. The introduction is on Monday, so in 2 days, and the 4th course had an introduction yesterday at 8:15, which is fucking insane, because I obviously stayed up to 3. Obviously, and then I got up at 6, or a little bit later than 6, and I had to walk to school because obviously my bus pass was expired, and I hadn't gotten my.
Do you have the app for bus pass?
No,
you
I
just
like.
pay with an app.
But
So.
the having a pass is cheaper. It's much cheaper.
Yeah. Okay.
But-
No. I think it's. Wait,
No.
what do you buy, like a monthly?
Today I bought 3 months
thing?
worth of time,
that's
so
probably cheaper.
that's pretty cheap. But anyway, I walked to school. I made it on the minute, and we ended up having just like 50 minutes of talking about not really anything. Like she was just introducing the course, kind of, and she had some
the first 2 days.
she had some interviews. So this is the class is personality psychology 2. So I've already had the kind of 101, and she had some interview about this some musician from High as a Kite. Do you know the band?
No.
It's kind of big deal now in Norway. It's a Norwegian band, and they've hit it big internationally or
My
something.
kidneys are acting up.
But anyway, kind of boring stuff. So that was like the only thing. I saw a lot of people that I never spoke to before.
Yeah.
But
But
just
you knew of.
yeah. So I actually saw a lot of people today at the gym. Yeah, I was gonna talk about that. So I was at the gym today, and as you all know, January, new year, new me, is usually the resolution. People are gonna really do it this time. They're gonna go to the gym 3 times a week and get that beach buddy for the summer or something. So I think we talked about this before. I'm a regular gym goer,
Dude, he has an 8-pack.
and
We should get that. I'm gonna take a picture of that and just use it as a thumbnail.
No,
for this
no,
video.
no,
Yeah,
no.
it's gonna be the background. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
and so I go 4 times a week, all the time, and I had just switched up my schedule for because I go. The university has 3 different gyms. I go to 2 of them, and I alternate between them because of the exercises I do. I'm kind of better at the other gym and whatever. And I now alternated that I went to the one gym on Friday and the other one on Saturday, so I switched them up. And so this was the first time I was at that gym on a Sunday, and they open at 10, and I was there 10:45 or something, which is pretty early.
Yeah.
And I had been at that gym right after New Year and before New Year, and it was absolutely empty because everyone was on holiday. And when I walked in today, I was like, okay, seems kind of packed.
Yeah.
And I walked further into the gym, to the locker rooms, and it was like at least 100 people in there. And there were a spinning class and a aerobics class or whatever.
Yeah.
So at least almost 200 people in the gym altogether. So it was really packed. And it was really, really annoying because I had to wait for a couple of things, kind of long time.
Yeah.
Which is, oh, I hate that.
Like waiting for it.
Yeah, because I'm not going to go to the next exercise because I fuck up the whole rotation kind of thing.
Yeah, sure.
And sometimes I, it's kind of like you have this dilemma. Are you going to just wait and have the machine or whatever you're doing for yourself? Or you're going to go up to them and ask them if you can work in? And then it gets kind of awkward if you have to change a lot of things of stuff.
And then you have to actually talk to people.
Yeah, I mean, that's not too bad. Today I talked to like actually a lot of people because I had to ask all the time, are you using this shit? Are you using that? Are you using it? And everyone was like, nope. So that was good. But yeah, pretty annoying, kind of. I mean, to have that many people, but also kind of cool.
I really think we should have the background of this video be your abs.
No.
Yeah,
No.
because that would draw a lot of attention. We would get more clicks, and that's what.
But then you have to.
Why do you like work out to
The-
have like this?
Then you have to change the title to something clickbaity too. But why? I mean, I
No,
I
we
don't.
call it Validation Station, episode 5. Ramsey's abs. It's gonna be good.
Well, should I talk about exercising at all? Because I just have it naturally almost, because I'm in the lowest weight bracket for men, sort
you're
of.
a skinny guy.
I'm on the BMI. I am severely underweight.
What is?
I'm like a 16.5 or something.
Okay, I think I'm at. I actually checked my BMI the other day and it was like at 20 or something.
That's totally normal. I think the normal starts at 18 for guys, and stops at like, I don't know, 21. But I'm like underweight. But because I have 3% or 4%, 5% body fat, which is like basically just the essential fats, which means the rest of it is
Like tits and
muscle and skin and all that jazz.
organs.
Yeah.
blood flow.
So I'm not in the unhealthy skinny range. I am actually really fit.
But you have like this metabolism, right? That's really high.
Yeah. I mean that's why I'm naturally thin. So
Yeah.
I eat a lot of junk food and just eat shit usually. Just I don't count my macros. I don't do a really strict diet or something.
I was cracking up this girl. She's really into fitness as well. I usually sit next to her at.
Well, what kind of fitness is she running? Is she a cardio bunny?
No, she like.
Oh, weightlifts because
she usually like trains her vagina a lot. No, really. She gets like on her back, and then puts like the weights you like do that with.
yeah.
I'm lifting weights if you can't see. But she puts it on her like pelvic area.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
then
I know.
She thrusts.
Yeah, I know the
upwards.
exercise. Yeah, lots of girls do that at the gym. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool. But I saw something.
Pretty cool.
I saw something this week. There was this girl. Yeah, on Friday. There was this girl who the Smith machine. Do you know that?
No.
It's basically like it's a bar that is stationary in a kind of setup. You can't move. You can only move it up and down.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah.
And it's got like a lot of security. Like you can put it anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
It's called the Smith machine. And she was on this girl is like really short, but she's got like massive biceps and triceps, and she's like really fit.
Yeah.
She's
hot.
She's pretty hot too.
Yeah.
But she was laying on her back beneath the Smith machine. She had loaded like 1.5 plates or something, and she got the Smith machine really low, lay on her back, and then took her feet up, as if this position. Like
Okay.
so.
So like you're at the OBGYN.
Yeah. She was basically presenting me her ass and vagina.
She's presenting.
Or to everyone else in the gym too, and she was like, so she was
suitable mate.
she was doing leg pressing in the Smith machine,
Sure.
which is really unusual because we have we have a free weights leg press machine at the gym and a locked weight bench leg press machine, and I don't know why she did that, but it was really hot. It was really cool to look at. But I thought about that when you said she was working out her vagina.
Yeah. No, but she's like into fitness, and now she's started this. Fuck it, I need to hear about it all the time. She started this food plan, which she basically tells me she eats a lot all the time. She has to like eat a lot of shit all the time. And what I say to her, which really cracks her up, is that every time she eats a lot or like goes to work out, she needs to yell, "Gains!" And if you do that, just like make that your catchphrase, it'd be nice. So we just go around yelling to each other, just "Gains!" And really, it's really
You have to watch more Bro Science, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, the viewers, I almost said, the listeners might probably know Bro Science, because I got a little story about today. I was at the gym and as I said, and a guy walked in with a Reps for Jesus tank top, which is like Reps for Jesus, which is one of the shirts from Bro Science, which it's kind of funny because I am in the process of buying a Bro Science shirt, which says
putting out feelers, doing that.
no, it says the Empire lifts back, which is, and it has like Darth Vader and he's like flexing his back. Yeah, it's I like that shirt because I think back is like my second strongest muscle group.
Okay, so take the picture front, then you turn around, back, up against each other. That's the background. We got it.
No.
This is gonna happen.
No.
You have to do this.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You have to do this. The listeners won't.
But
want it.
I mean, we
Can't deny
can.
the listeners.
Keeping on that same topic, sort of, I can flex my pectoral muscles, like individually, so I can bounce them up and down, yeah.
Muscles, yeah.
And when I'm at the gym and I'm wearing my gym
So
shirt,
when girls can do that.
have you seen that video? This I don't know if it's a Suicide Girl chick or whatever.
Yeah.
She's like Sarah X or something she's called.
Yeah.
She was doing this Jingle Bells tit
sure.
flexing thing.
Oh yeah, I think I saw a gif for that.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. But yeah, when I'm at the gym, I can see my pectoral muscles pretty well through my shirt, and I in between sets because there's mirrors everywhere. I kind of just like I just flex like each side individually and just like up and down. Just like, and oh, it's so cool.
You do this in front of people?
Yeah, I mean that's.
Do it now.
That's a feat. Now you can't see it.
I can see it. I can see it a little bit.
Yeah, and by the way, it's much more clear after I've done like chest and worked out a bit, worked up a pump. Oh, there was this guy today who wore compression clothing, which is like, I mean, for those who don't know, really tight-fitting clothing.
Yeah.
And you could not only see his tits and nipples and everything, but also his like, his abs and like basically everything else.
Schlong?
No, he wasn't. No, he was wearing
shorts.
normal shorts, but
Yeah.
he was wearing a compression top, which is really weird if you do that at the gym. It's the same thing for like these shoes with the toes.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's like for running.
It's probably good to wear though.
Yeah. It's meant
Have you
for
tried it?
it's meant for outdoor running. I think it's to simulate kind of barefoot running without like having to run barefoot.
Probably for like parkour and shit.
But it's really gross. I don't want to see your toes at the gym. And
You don't, though.
that reminds me. Oh, fuck. Today, this chick walked in, and she also takes psychology, and she's really annoying.
She's
So
fit though.
I don't like her. I mean, she's relatively attractive, but she was taking her shoes off, and I was right next to her stretching, and I was just like,
Smell?
yeah, so fucking bad. Oh my god. I was just walking away with my arm covering my nose, hoping she would notice. It's like, it was really bad. I thought it was me, like, because I mean I had just worked out for like 2 hours.
Yeah, sure.
But
2 hours? You
Yeah.
worked out for 2 hours?
I usually use 2 hours.
Fucking hell.
I can do it in like 1 hour if I'm really, really quick and don't take breaks. But I take my time and try to max out on sets and shit.
Jesus. 2 hours though, that's a lot. Like every day almost.
No, 4 days a week.
Damn.
But yeah, I mean that was disgusting. She was just, I guess she was just after a run on the treadmill or something. Because oh damn, she smelled.
Did you hit that though?
No. I don't like her. She, I mean, I've seen her around on psychology and...
I don't get why people have foot fetishes. I don't get that.
Yeah.
What the hell is up with that? It's
I mean,
like, oh, that's a foot.
I mean, I get kind of like enjoying feet in a sexual context. If you're already having sex, it's kind of like, you know, the whole thing where things that are usually really gross are kind of like during sex it's kind of like okay to do it. Like, I mean, there's this college humor sketch where they do this.
All right.
They do spitting and like they put a finger up the partner's ass and shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is during sex, it's totally okay, but anything else, no, fuck, that's gross. And I guess feet are the same thing.
You know who was really fit? You know, okay, a minor spoiler for
You're talking about fit as in attractive, not
attractive, yeah.
Not as physically fit.
Minor spoiler for True Detective, the first episode, is where Woody Harrelson's character is with seeing that girl. That scene, I watched that. Yeah, that girl. She was fucking.
Yeah. Have you
so
gotten to the part where she calls him and says,
"Wait,
I think I'd like you to fuck my ass"?
Oh no, that's another girl.
Oh, not that
I'm
girl?
talking about-
Because she was really fit too.
No, I'm talking about the first girl with the massive tits. Yeah, Google that shit.
No,
Anyway.
I've got the scene.
But yeah, okay, so I'm gonna say it. I was watching that scene where Woody Harrelson is with her at the train.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like,
So I was kind of like sporting a partial at the train with like the conductor walking by, which was like kind of fit as well, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not
female
watching,
conductor,
I'm
by the
not
way.
watching porn, mate. No, it's dude. I mean, no, it was girl. She was hot. So yeah, Ramsey's just started the first episode. True Detective.
Scrolling through the episode now.
Scrolling through. I think the first scene where we first get like where fucking hell, what's the character's name? It's like
I don't remember. It's been a long time.
yeah, but what's the actor's name? I mean,
Matthew McConaughey?
yeah, Matthew McConaughey's character when they're driving away in the first episode of True Detective, where he's talking about his like philosophy and view on life. I was watching that and I was like, fucking hell, this guy's got it figured out, mate. He knows his shit.
I just paused on the wife. I don't remember the actress's name. She's pretty fit too.
Maggie?
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson's wife?
Yeah.
I don't like her, man. I think she's...
I mean, as a person, maybe
I think
not.
she's a shallow character. I don't think she's really that well written. She's just like complainy, nagging, and all that. But I suppose that's her role, though, to be.
Yeah, talking about watching that kind of stuff.
It might have not.
Watching that kind of stuff on like in public. I usually when I travel and shit, I also take with me something to watch on a laptop or something. And I used to watch Breaking Bad on the train when I was in Germany a couple of years ago.
Sure.
And Breaking Bad is of course PG and all that. They don't have any kind of sexual scenes. I mean, they have fucking.
They have a bit.
They have a hand job, and do you know that scene where Jesse is with a prostitute?
Yeah.
In the motel and shit.
Good scene.
It's like he puts his pants down and he's I mean nothing really happens.
What about the scene at the end of the pilot episode where he fucks his wife? That's like 2 minutes of him fucking his wife.
Yeah, but that's just I mean everything happens off screen. There's no nudity. There's like I mean no, it's really PG. I don't find the scene with the girl. What the fuck?
Might not have been in the first episode actually.
No.
I think it's
the music though.
Yeah.
Oh, the soundtrack is so good.
I was supposed to talk about that. So in True Detective, I think the sound design is okay. So the sound design in True Detective is really. It's kind of well done for what they're aiming for, but I kind of don't like it, especially in the first episode. I think it's get way better in.
Her?
Yeah, that's a one. We're looking at the fake girl in True Detective. So as I was saying, the sound design is really well done. I think, but I kind of don't like it because he's playing the scene.
She's just revealing her boobs.
I'm getting kind of distracted, so she's taking her top off. Okay, if you haven't seen, so just if you're not interested in anything else to watch True Detective,
That tease though.
yeah, just go to episode 2 to the 17-minute mark and just watch that, and you get an awesome scene. I recommend watching it at a train.
On a train.
On the train. What did I say?
At the train. At a train.
Same shit, I guess. What was I talking about? Yeah, the fucking... Okay, so the sound design. Starting this sentence for the third time. The sound design is really good, but I don't like it. Or I don't dislike it, I guess, but it's really bass-y. Like, after working with a lot of sound with school productions and shit, I would think that the whole sound is done in ADR, which is automated dialogue replacement, which means that you get the actors to come back and re-record their lines to the picture. But I don't think they've done that. So what I'm wondering is, how did they get that sound? Because it's really like... I don't know how to illustrate it. If I can I grab this?
Yeah.
So if I do this and go really close to the microphone and talk like this, I'm Matthew McConaughey and I like to smoke cigarettes and I'm from Texas. It will be like that. It would just be really bassy and just like really bassy. There's so much bass, which
isn't it?
I think I actually especially feel that way in the first couple of episodes. Mix that with I have like trouble with some certain American accents, especially like southern, really heavy Texas accents and shit, which is what they have in this series. So
yeah.
Those things combined is like kind of difficult to hear sometimes. But I think other people don't have that much trouble with American accents as I do. So
I mean, Matthew McConaughey is mumbling a lot. He's a bit hard to understand in that whole series. But don't you think could it be that they're mic'd, every actor? Because
they're not mic'd.
It sounds really close up, right?
Yeah, it is really close up. So, and what I don't understand is that, like, if I'm looking at you now, and I have a camera, me and Ramsey are about like maybe 1 meter, 2 meters apart. If I had a camera,
1 meter. That's not 2 meters.
Yeah, well, our faces, I guess.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, maybe.
So the camera is looking at you, which means that to have a microphone that close would mean that it would be in the picture, right?
Yeah.
But you can have like a shotgun microphone which records like just...
Yeah, I know.
But when I look at the picture, you get like every sound, just like a subtle moving of the lips. It's shown, or like I can hear that, so, which means it's actually the dialogue that they spoke when they were filming, you know? Which in some scenes it's just like, how the hell did you record that sound? Because it seems impossible, you know? And I'm really interested to find out and see what they've done. But yeah, if you're ever going to produce a TV show, don't do it with that much bass, I think.
But I like the soundtrack. I really like the opening music.
Yeah, I watched that once.
On that note, similar. I recommended this series to you too. A BBC and Netflix production, The Peaky Blinders, or just Peaky Blinders. British crime drama.
Sure.
it's kind of the British version of Boardwalk Empire. It has a absolutely phenomenal opening, kind of in the same theme as True Detective has, opening soundtrack, and it's really cool because I've just watched the first 2 seasons are out on Netflix, by the way, on the US. If you watch the finale of the second season, you actually figure out that the song means something.
Yeah, sure.
In the story, and it's kind of like, oh, they brought it all the way around.
What's the series called?
Peaky Blinders.
Is it good?
Yeah. I mean, it's Boardwalk Empire, just in Britain, in Birmingham.
I'm not like really that fan of like crime dramas. It's not really my cup of tea usually, but then again, I really love shit like Breaking Bad, and now True Detective is alright, I guess. But yeah.
How about main character is Cillian, played by Cillian
Wait,
Murphy.
hang on. I have a thought. All right.
Yeah.
Just finishing up the whole sound design thing on True Detective. I think it's the sound design of True Detective is the sound design from Breaking Bad, just on steroids. Because sometimes in Breaking Bad they have like these really intense moments, which have like long sequences, which you have a sound that gets slightly more audible in the. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you know what I'm talking about, you definitely know what I'm talking about, and you recognize it in Breaking Bad. If you notice that in Breaking Bad, you will absolutely notice that in True Detective, because in Breaking Bad it's basically like often like high pitched tones that gets more and more audible. In True Detective, it's bass. It gets more and more bassy the more intense the situation is and the build up and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my 2 cents on the sound design in True Detective. Anyway, you were saying?
No, just Cillian Murphy, he plays the main character.
Sure.
Do you like him as an actor?
I don't know.
Because he's
him out.
He's played Scarecrow in Batman.
Oh yeah, I love that guy. He's really good. He's in Inception as well.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he was made for that role, and he plays.
Scarecrow?
No, he plays what's his name? Thomas Shelby, or just Tommy.
Is it supposed to be creepy?
He's a bit. I mean, the opening scene is like really kind of creepy looking, and you don't really know what it is yet, and then it kind of like unravels that. Yeah, okay, I know where we're at now, but the first 5 minutes or something is like, what kind of is this? Is this real life? Is this like fantasy? Because it's kind of creepy, and he can be creepy because he's a World War One veteran.
Okay. Sure.
And after that's kind of one of the themes in the series that he's.
When does this take place?
1928 in Birmingham.
Okay, so it's between World War One and Two.
Yeah.
That's the time of the economic collapse in America, isn't it?
Yep.
Is that featured in the show?
Not really, but prohibition is.
Oh, cool.
Because prohibition is still in place.
In Britain?
No, in America. But
they're
criminals, so they're from they're part gypsy, part Irish, and they live in Birmingham, so they have lots of access. Birmingham's a big port city. They have lots of access to Scotch and Irish whiskey. So they obviously try to export that to the Americans.
Yeah.
And make lots of money. Just like they did in Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Al Capone.
And but he's like really quiet, kind of like, I mean, people are scared of him, and because he's just like really quiet, and he's like, have you seen Mad Men?
First episode.
Yeah, okay. Well, people describe Donald Draper in the show. Someone described Donald Draper as a really quiet guy who doesn't talk much, but when he talks, he's like really intense.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the same thing. Like he just when he talks is like really profound. It's just has a lot of impact. But he plays the role really well. And he really hits the. I mean, he's supposed to be part gypsy, and he really has that kind of thing. I don't know if he is part gypsy because he speaks Roman, or the language of the Roma. I don't know what it's called.
Gypsy.
In one of the scenes,
I know.
which is kind of impressive. I don't know how good it was, but kind of cool.
Sounded legit.
Yeah, it started as a BBC production, and I think it was picked up by Netflix later on.
Yeah.
And obviously Netflix has a lot of good productions there.
Oh, dude, how excited are you for House of Cards?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's coming.
Yeah. That
Is it on
ending scene.
Is it on Valentine's Day again?
I don't know.
Because it was last year,
Probably.
and I ended up
It's in
just
February.
watching everything in one go.
It's in the end of February, I think. But I did as well. Fucking hell, that second season was really tough. The ending scene is fantastic. It's so fucking good. Yeah, well, spoilers.
Yeah,
But fucking hell, I won't spoil it. But there's some shit that happens in that last scene of the last episode of season 2 of House of Cards. And it's fantastic. You should really check out that show if you haven't done it yet.
okay, now we're just talking about TV shows.
Yeah. I think we should wrap up actually. We have been going for 1.5 hours now.
Yeah.
Anything you wanted to add?
Anything else? No, I mean, Christmas was alright.
Oh yeah, that was the thing. I was actually ill most of Christmas. I actually had the whole New Year, New Me thing going at the start of the Christmas holidays.
Yeah.
Where I was going to start eating healthy, I was going to go to the gym, it was all going to be good. But I started eating healthy and then like I went to the gym and I got so fucking sick the next day. I was fucked up from training, you know how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fucked up right
couldn't-
now.
I was running, right? I was just running a bit on the treadmill and I couldn't walk. I could not walk the next day. Like, it hurt too fucking much. And
Yeah,
I
man.
got, like, influenza. And I had a cough for the rest of the fucking holidays. And I'm never going back to the gym ever again. No,
Yeah.
I am. But
I mean, I might mention that I think I mentioned it. We're at a spa hotel.
yeah, you usually go to Germany in
No,
Christmas, right?
not usually. I mean,
Sometimes.
it started
happens.
ever since I've been like 18. We started going to Germany. But yeah, we were at the spa hotel, which I haven't showed you any pictures, I think, but
No.
it's basically they have like this like Roman Grecian or Greek bath, like
Yeah.
massive thing, and they have an open fire in the one room where you're just like laying on like these beds around it, and in the other room there's also beds around the pool, and then there's saunas to the left and to the right, in different kind of, and then it's like they have a whirlpool, and we had massages or massages or
Messages. What?
massage.
It's
I had a massage.
It's massages. Yeah.
I had a full body massage.
Deep tissue.
No, just full body aroma. I don't know. They just had that.
Happy ending.
No,
Was it a guy?
it was a girl.
Yeah.
She was she was quite attractive.
Quite attractive though. Yes.
But it was like you had like these degrees of intensity, like soft, medium, and
Of your dick.
rough. No, like the massage.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted rough or like I don't know. Yeah, I mean
You like it rough.
I'm used to quite a lot of. I'm used to like quite a lot of stress in my back and neck and shit because if I'm not at the gym, I'm on the computer.
Yeah.
So got a fucked up neck and back
I
basically.
don't think I ever had a massage. Again.
And it was not rough. It was not rough at all. Maybe it was because I was too insensitive back there. I don't know, because she was like, I mean, she did my back a little bit, and then it was like, okay, that hurt. I mean, what you want to do is that it hurts. That then you know it's like hitting the spot,
Yeah.
kind of
Sure.
hitting the knots and whatever tense areas.
I think that's why people recommend actually having male
Yeah.
therapists,
Because
they
I had-
actually have this
I had
strength
another
and-
a shorter massage, a neck massage, and neck and back. And he's also wanted to know if you wanted intense or not so intense, and I said, yeah, just go ahead, fucking do it. And he was a bit more rough, but it wasn't that bad. I've had worse, I would say. I mean, but it was a bit more relieving in terms of like my, I don't know, yeah, tension.
Yeah. So it's alright.
But that was super nice, yeah.
Good hotel.
Hmm?
Good hotel. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, really expensive. Glad I didn't pay for it.
Yeah.
It was actually my Christmas gift from my mother, basically. No, not the hotel, but the massage, one of them, because they were like 80 euros or something
Yeah. It's alright.
for an hour or something like that. Yeah. And yeah, didn't have snow, unfortunately. Not on Christmas, at least. It was snowing on the 26th. Or 25th, I don't remember. And yeah, that was cool. I got some cool shit. You see that over there? Can you read it? The book.
The World of Ice and Fire?
Yeah.
The World of Ice and Fire. Isn't it a song?
Yeah, the World of Ice and Fire is it's a storybook. Basically, lots of spoilers.
Oh shit! Alright.
No, it's like it's lore basically. It's like.
So it's a massive book. You can't see it.
I mean, most people, if you know
It's from
the Song of Ice and Fire, if you know the Game of Thrones books, you know this book.
I don't know why they always do this. They have like this fucking ugly ass cover of a book, and then they have these nice actual.
Yeah, I know. I think it's to spare the actual cover.
Yeah, I guess. So it's fuck it. It's a giant ass book from Game of Thrones, I guess. Yeah, it looks nice.
Don't. That's the collector's edition.
Yeah. But yeah, we
Don't let it fall. Okay, no, it's okay. It's okay. It's standing.
But yeah, we have actually been going for a long time. I don't think.
Okay, we should wrap
Want
up.
to hear it forever. So, as usual, if you have any questions, post them as a comment. We'll read them probably next episode if they're not shit. Remember to tip your waitresses and don't let anybody steal your validation, I guess. No, that's not. What's the message again?
I don't remember.
It's like, don't seek your validation from anybody else, even us, because it doesn't matter what anyone thinks of you, it matters what you think of you. Okay, that's cheesy and sloppy, but
Goodbye.
so, yeah, see you next time. Peace.